Hello, my shadows. I must start things with a 6-minute clip. Watch with me.
遠い昔、地獄の奈落の底に、ヘルハウンドという獣が最強な略奪者として、この領域を支配している。地獄の炎からその身体が生まれ、強烈な豪華さえ操れる力を持つ。ヘルハウンドの軍道が地獄の守護者として存在し、混沌の領域内の調和を保ち、領域外の脅威と戦う。しかし、それは悪魔がやってくる前の話だった。領域に迫ってくる悪魔たちが、最初は難なく全滅させたが、悪魔たちがどうやら緩むことはなさそうだった。ヘルハンドに対して悪魔という存在は不朽であって、何度も何回もその体を倒しても悪魔がまた蘇り、さらなる力と反にで進んできた。その力を止めることもできなかった。戦が続いていくその後、悪魔たちの魔王がヘルハンドの力に気づいた。あんな役に立つ者を滅ぼすのがもったいないと魔王が認めた。その時からヘルハウンドの運命がすでに定められた。ヘルハウンドの魂が悪魔の勢力で堕落され、その身体も悪魔たちと似ているような体型に変化した。ヘルハウンドの軍道がまるで地に飢えた悪魔たちと一人になり、不滅な炎の化け物に生まれ変わった。魔王の命令に従うしかなく、かつて高貴なヘルハウンドの軍道が地獄の門の新たな守護者として配属された。計知れないほどの長年にわたり、とある小さな魂が情熱地獄の中から生まれ出した。その正体はヘルハウンドの子だった。だが、彼女は周りの親類と違った。彼女の中には確かに悪魔の血が流っているとはいえ、化け物というわけでもない。彼女の心は純粋の心だ。彼女の魂は鮮やかに輝き、その中からも優しさと愛が溢れている。今まで他のヘルハンドを堕落させた悪魔たちの勢力は、なぜか彼女まで影響がなかったようだ。彼女は天上界からの心を持つヘルハウンドという名で呼ばれている。しかし、彼女のよきなす優しい性格は、周りのヘルハウンドは追い払い、その結果、彼女はいつも一人きりになってしまった。他のヘルハウンドがいない代わりに、彼女は怯えさせるべきの人間の魂に友情を求めていた。彼女は人間の魂に一切危害を加える志望がなかった。彼女のその独特な態度はやがて噂になり、地獄の炎のようにさっと広まっていた。悪魔たちの魔王もその話を聞き、彼女の存在にようやく気づいた。なんておぞましいと、周りの悪魔たちは彼女のことを 嫌いになった。彼女はエルハンドとして不朽であっても地獄での存在は不適当だと思われた。罰当たりのやつめと友達なんか作りきやればそれを叶えようかと悪魔たちが嘲笑った。コントの力を生かし悪魔たちの魔王が彼女を変化させ、その体が半分人間半分化け物の体型になった。人間の世界に彼女を追放し、もう二度と地獄へ帰れない。彼女は永遠まできっとのけ者にされるだろうと悪魔たちが期待してた。そして彼女が目覚めた。目に通る眩しすぎる光でその視覚がくらんだ。
ここはどこ？
と彼女が頭の中で考え込んだ。
私は痛い？
彼女がついに立ち上がり、周りのまだ見ぬ世界を見回した。今回もいつもと同じく一人きりで居場所もない。しかし訳もわからず彼女が微笑んだ。この先には鮮やに輝いている未来があると彼女が信じた。
地獄からきっと友達なんて、もしかして会いたいの？私の名前はシンダーです。
How? How did we go from this to this? Due to my sociopathic nature and my ability to see both sides of the coin, I'll be riding the fence on this one, like I will with most responses to things. Every once in a while I might take a side, but sides are easy to take. It's much, much harder to play the devil's advocate. I do have extensive knowledge of psychology. I say extensive, being that my original goal in life was to be a therapist and a psychologist to help those in need. Help is harder to give when you're so close to a situation. When you're farther away, it's easiest to take the side of least resistance. Let's address the first thing in the room. The apology. It was poorly written. But if we pick it apart, we can see an attempt at someone trying to shield themselves the best way that they might know how. This is not behavior that one might think would be something you're born with. This is behavior that is learned over time. Who you learn it from and how you learn it is completely up to life and what it throws at you. And let me preface by saying it does not give you the excuse or the ability to say it is the fault of those who raised you or life circumstances that were brought about. We are not always what we do, and we are what we are. But we are always responsible for our actions. And these actions were cutthroat and deplorable. However, They come from a place that we don't know about. And in order to know that, we have to go back. One of Cinder's first songs that she ever uploaded was Convergence of Sin. There's always been a demon inside of her, trying to pull the strings, trying to make sure that she goes the path that she goes. And while she is responsible for her actions, manipulation could play a key role in her being the way she is. Buff Pup mentioned that when Cinder and her boyfriend were in a room together, the boyfriend would say something along the lines of, "It's always about business before pleasure," and Cinder would agree. But if Cinder truly felt that way, at a 100% capacity, and let's say, for the moment, that she agreed with it for the most part, why didn't she bring it up first? What if it is a case of someone who is just easily manipulated? What if it's a case of someone who, among all other things, wants to please people? Who would you please? The person closest to you, or your friends? Unfortunately, sometimes you make the wrong decisions. You support those who would control you and force you into a position where you abandon your friendships. And you make that decision to follow them, meaning you are at fault. Making one of your best friends come to tears because they don't know why you did what you did. I am speaking of Bao, of course. I'm speaking of all of your friends, Cinder. None of them understand why you would do something so outrageously and unfathomably cruel. When they supported you, when they cared about you, when they trusted you, when they gave you love and support from the very beginning. And what you showed them in return during those times was fun and happiness and laughs and smiles and collabs. You coexisted with them like family. So what got in your ear? What changed? I'm not trying to give excuses, just explanations. It's easy to confuse the two. One explanation could be that because her now ex-boyfriend, hopefully, because he is scum of the earth. But one explanation could be that he manipulated her slowly. But this goes back before that. This goes back to Convergence of Sin, where you literally admit that you have a demon inside, telling you to act the way you acted towards your friends. And you thought you conquered that demon. That's not a demon, Cinder. That's your shadow self. And you can't conquer it. You have to embrace it. The same way Lavi embraced me, and I him. We coexist, and I care much more for him and his family than I do for egotistical power trips. And he cares much more for me and my goals as well. You cannot conquer your shadow, and in thinking you did so, you blinded yourself to the reality that in retaliation, it ruined your life. And because you are your shadow self, and it is you. You ruined your own life. But the one thing I keep seeing across every single one of your friends' video responses, the one thing that I am wrapping my head around that is so amazing to me, is that each and every one of them, no matter how angry they are at you, hopes the best for you and hopes that you get the help that you need. They want to see you change and be a better person. They want to see you no longer listen to that darkness. And the question isn't whether or not you will listen. If you are truly sorry, you will listen. You will get help. And then maybe, just maybe, they will invite you back into their fold. And if they don't, you respect that. Because you don't change for others. You don't apologize for others. You do it for yourself first. Your apology seemed like one that was contrived to get forgiveness for the things that happened. You expected forgiveness from that apology. That is quite apparent. What you should have expected is closure. Sinder, good or bad, all things end, so that something new can begin. It's never good to apologize and say, but, I'm sorry for this, but, just sounds like an excuse, and it's never a real apology. And you might be coming from a place of complete honesty and utter truth, but the fact is, you still made the decisions you made on your part. You still did the things that you did. And while you might have been influenced, you are responsible for those actions. And actions have consequences, good and bad. And these are just the consequences. That being said, if I myself, a tormented, evil creature lurking in a cave of an unimaginable depth, with darkness surrounding me, is capable of seeing the light, and in my hideous form, approaching it, hoping it will change me and make me something more beautiful, then even you, who is not as deep in that figmentation of a cave as I once was, can also change. You are redeemable. You are forgivable. You are understood. Maybe not by everybody, but by some of us. I believe that if you are truly sorry for your actions, you can redeem yourself. Your story is not over unless you say it is. You do not fail unless you give up and stop getting up. If you rebrand yourself, you prove you are incapable of change. If you move away from this into something else and ignore everything as if it never happened, then you did not mean your apology. But I feel like what you need to hear is that somebody sees you and understands and comprehends why you did what you did, even in the most twisted comprehension of itself. You are Sinder. You are responsible for that name. It lives and it dies with you. You cannot pretend this did not happen. So get the help you need and come back stronger. Be a better person. That's all your friends want. That's all the people that truly matter want. Ignore the words of those who think that you cannot change. Ignore the words of random people who would only bring you down further than you already are. Don't be better for anybody else but you, because we all believe that that is possible. The question is, do you believe it's possible? Do you believe you will keep hurting yourself? Because at the end of the day, you could not have possibly hurt those who cared about you and that you cared about more than you hurt yourself with this situation. Will you give yourself the chance to change, or will you ignore it like it never happened? Even sitting on the fence, I can see the correct answer. Do not conquer that demon, that shadow self of yours. Embrace it. Embrace its desires and become one with it. And it will in turn embrace your desires. If you truly want to be a good person, if you truly meant what you said in your apology, then this should not be a hard task for you. And you might never get those friendships back that you once had. But you could form new ones with people willing to give you a second chance. And as long as you don't ruin those the way you ruined these, as long as you do not spoil the proverbial milk, then maybe people will actually believe you changed. Once again, I reiterate, true change comes from doing it for yourself and not for anyone else. Your apology was for other people, not for yourself. Have you looked in the mirror and apologized to yourself for ruining everything you've built, for ruining your relationships, your image, your morals? Start with you. Work your way up. Prove it to you, and others will see it. There's no need for you to prove it to anyone else. They'll see it, and they'll know. It's easy to spot the fakes among the truthful. The liars and the leeches can never apologize to themselves. Your apology essentially says that you are searching for forgiveness for being those things, for always putting business above family and friends. The corporate lifestyle is a leech and a liar's playground. While there is business in everything, and while you need to make money to survive, if the want to make money ever surpasses the want of friendship or family obligations, then it is misplaced. There is no question about it. It is a darkness embedded in every human being, and its name is pride and ambition. And you gave in far too much to your darkness's pride and ambition, Sinder. And yet even still there are people like me, even still your friends also, We all in unison want to see better for you, even though the knife you put in their back was sharper than any blade that could have ever been forged by human hands. You probably even stopped an artist from ever creating art again. Art takes time. Art is precious. There is no such thing as art being so much so that it would disvalue itself. Art is a process. And artists are far too often told that they have a deadline when they should be told there isn't one. It's unfortunately a double-edged sword. Because while people would like to say take your time, they set themselves on deadlines. Every time I have ever commissioned an artist, they have always been baffled to hear me say, "There is no deadline. Take your time. Art is magic." It comes from the soul when someone is actually able to take their time with it. It's a piece of them that they are putting onto a canvas. A little bit of themselves that they can never get back. And they feel it as it tears away from themselves, but they do it happily. I myself, as an artist, can honestly say that everything I have ever made has had a piece of myself embedded in it. A little bit of my soul, perspective, and life that I could never get back. And that is what makes it so unique. Even this creation of mine, Lavi and Polly, my light half and my shadow self, even those are a piece of me. They're not just alternate personalities, they are creation itself in its most beautiful form. And to think that such a thing can be disvalued if there's too much of it by the same person. There is no greater service on this earth than to serve your fellow man. And when you serve your fellow man, you serve them with a piece of yourself. I'm sorry for the tangent, but the point is, you cannot disvalue art by having too much of it. Many respectful art connoisseurs would love another Picasso, something painted by a dead man, would love another piece of Michelangelo's art, things that we can never have again. That's what makes art so beautiful. Because it is finite. Because there is only so much an artist can put out before they inevitably pass on. And so every piece is coveted. Every moment of their soul placed on canvas, paper, digital screen is a way to remember them and who they were. And that will never die. So when they do, Everyone wants more. More of something they can never have. It's the same thing that makes life beautiful. They really are hand in hand in their magical ambiance. And when you have finally lost everything, that's when you realize that life itself is beautiful. If everything lasted forever, if everyone lasted forever, their uniqueness would be wasted. You're absolutely right. Then it would become mundane, but it's the fact that we only get so much of them before they pass, before they are done, and they lay down their tools. And we always want more. Cinder, I hope one day you grow to appreciate this value and no longer agree with Red's view on things. I have no idea if you'll ever hear this, or who will hear this for that matter. But anyone listening, appreciate even the smallest blade of grass, because it will die and fade away, only to be replaced by more, until the field itself grows sour and becomes nothing but soil. I'm gonna wrap things up by saying, I understand you, Cinder. I do not agree with you. I unfortunately know why you did what you did, but it wasn't right. You do not have to abandon yourself. You can make yourself better and redeem yourself. Everyone is capable of redemption. Just remember, it starts with you. Cinder, please, I wish nothing but the best for you. Because at the end of the day, behind the model, you are still human. And capable of flaws, yes, but capable of change, and so much more. And in the future, remember, don't do things for yourself. Do things beyond yourself. That is how you truly will be remembered in this life and in the next. Back to the shadows I go. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far and you enjoyed what you heard, please leave a like if you'd like and subscribe. And if not, I still thank you for listening and learning. May your life also be full of moments to better yourself and those around you. Goodbye for now, my little shadows. Until we meet again.